Okay, so in this video, we're going to look at float and clear. I find these concepts a little bit confusing. To be honest, a lot of times I try to do the type of behavior that you would get with float and clear, I accomplish with Bootstrap using like the grid system or specific Bootstrap classes. But it is good to at least understand generally what float and clear mean and how they work. Okay, so let's look at a couple options here. So float specifies how an element should float. So will it float to the left of its container, float to the right? Will it not float, which is none, which is the default, or will it inherit the float of its parent object? And then clear basically specifies what elements can float beside the cleared element and on which side. So again, the default's none, nothing can float relative to it. If it's left, nothing can float to the left of the cleared object. If it's right, nothing can float to the right. If it's both, nothing can float to the left or the right. And inherit, it would inherit the clear setting of its parent. Okay, so let me show you a few slides and then we'll look at some examples. So this is an example where we have an image that is floated to the left. So the image is occurring inside of a p tag. So basically the p tag in this case is acting as its container. And we've specified that the image should float right. So as you can see here, it shows up to the right of the rest of the content of its container, which is the paragraph. This is the same thing, but now we've done float left. So all I did was change float to left, and now it's drawing to the left of the paragraph content as opposed to the right. Again, it's basically occurring within the paragraph. This is an example where we have both. So we have two images. One is set float right, one is set float left, and they're both occurring within the paragraph tag. So one floats to the right, one floats to the left. And then this is showing an example of clear float. So the clear float is being applied here to, or the clear is being applied to the second paragraph. And we're saying clear right, which basically means nothing can float to the right of the paragraph. So as we saw here, the image was set float right, which is allowing it to float to the right of this paragraph, but it's not being able to float right to the right of the second paragraph because we've set clear right there. Okay, let's look at a few examples of that. So here's our float right example. Okay, so this is the image. Again, it's set float right. And then we've got our paragraph. It's occurring within the paragraph there. So if I change this to float left, then it's going to be on the left. If I set it to float none, then it's going to occur kind of in line because it's being treated, it's been embedded inside the paragraph, so it's being treated as like a span level or inline object, which looks kind of weird in this case, which kind of shows you how float and clear can be useful. And then let me just do one other thing. We'll just do, and here we'll do clear, and we'll do left. And if, I believe, let's see what it does. Oh, never mind, that works because it's embedded inside of it. Never mind. Let's open up the right left one now. So this is where I have two images. Oh, this is actually a different example, but we have paragraphs here. We have one that's floated right of the other two. So that's why this is showing up way over here on the other side, is because that paragraph's been assigned to float right. Let's see, let's just look at a float clear. All right, and then this was our float clear example. Again, the key thing here is that this second paragraph, we've cleared the float to the right, so it's not allowing the image to float to the right of it.